I mean, my God, it's about Sebastian, Seth, and Tony. That's it. Leave them alone.
They love the attention they get.
Now, it's the only way they can learn anything.
They're not even trying to learn, though. That's the thing. They're not worried about learning anything.
Yeah, they're not worried about learning. They're not worried about finding them. They're not worried about none of that. They don't care.
Worried about money.
Mm-hmm.
And how many
money and being nasty.
And how many people that can come in and spend money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The drama is what pays.
Well, sorry, this page is not for drama. I mean, if they were serious looking for these kids, looking for anybody, they wouldn't care whether they made $1 or 50 cents.
That's
like
right.
us. Like us. It's not about money. It's about
finding this baby, finding this boy. And I don't care if he's 15, he's a baby.
He is still a baby. He's
somebody's baby.
And, you know, with our son passing a while ago, and watching my husband go through the first Father's Day, I wish this on nobody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
On nobody.
Yeah, my sister passed in 2021, and watching my mom with the first birthdays and Mother's Day, and she was, my sister was in her 50s. It doesn't make it easier.
No,
right.
You're not supposed to bury your children. You're not supposed to, this is not supposed to happen. Your kids aren't supposed to go missing.
Supposed to bury you.
Right.
And your mother went through hell. Trust me.
I know she did. She still does.
Yeah. And Sunday, Seth is going to go through hell.
Yeah. I got to write my thing up for you tonight.
Yeah, I got to figure out what to write too.
Yeah, because I got to get it sent out tomorrow.
I'll give it to you Friday. When are you going to do it, Cajun?
I got to send the card out tomorrow. I'll have to overnight it.
Oh, okay. Tomorrow?
But, yeah.
Okay.
But the other, I can wait. I'll send it Saturday.
Okay. Well, can you at least put thinking about you, Love Trooper 2000?
Okay.
Okay. Then we'll do the rest Saturday.
Okay.
But no, I couldn't. Hell, I didn't even know what to tell my own husband that day. Long till self. I mean, really, truly.
I know it.
But I know. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and yet KP could give him the answers, and she just refuses to.
You know, I mean, being a mother, we're all mothers. if one of our kids or grandkids, or in my case, grandkids, went missing, do you not think I'd be out there? I'd be like Bullhorn Betty. I'd be at that freaking cop station. And trust me, I have a relationship working at this freaking cop station. I'd be camping out,
Mm-hmm.
or at least looking everywhere,
Right.
having search parties.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, where are they even now? Are they home, or are they camping, or what are they doing?
I think she's at home. She's back at work. His truck was at the campground yesterday, I believe it was.
Wow.
I don't know if he's working. I don't know if his truck's just there. I'm not sure.
And here's Seth working what, nights, searching during the day.
Well, Seth's not back at work right now.
Oh, because of the surgery
Right.
or his arm.
His
Yeah,
shoulder. Yeah.
shoulder.
He's on temporary disability right now.
Well, you know what he's doing.
Yeah. He's wearing himself down.
And what I can't understand is why the Texas judge, is it Texas or Mexico?
New Mexico.
New Mexico judge did this.
I don't understand.
I don't understand it either. Unless they don't know nothing about it.
Oh, you know they do.
They have to. But why? You got a missing child, disappeared on your wife's watch, but yet you get your other child for the summer?
Yeah. Oh, really, Crystal? Did they have a picture of it?
I can't read it, hon. It's your background is too light.
She said someone made a comment on FB that CP and KP took Faith out for ice cream.
Oh, but they can't take Sebastian, huh?
Well, they didn't care about him.
They want a good child, not a
Mhm.
disability child. Wow. I love y'all, but you can never take me up there. Never.
Sorry about that. I was writing the thing for Seth. Tell
I
me if
would.
that sounds okay. If I need to change it, I'm
I would.
terrible at times like this.
I would love to go up there and search, but if I met those two,
Oh, I'd be in jail.
Lord have mercy, this whole family on this page would have to bail my butt out.
We'd be in there with you. What are you talking about? Someone gonna have to get the whole family out.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, that's perfect.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right.
Yeah, it's better. Thank you. Ice cream.
That's
You can't
poor
take
Sebastian.
You can't take Sebastian to the park. She's got to overstimulate him, knowing that all that activity will overstimulate him. Really?
I get tired of hearing that too because Seth didn't seem to have those problems with him.
Well, my thing is, if I knew, okay, if I had a child like Sebastian, if I knew what overstimulated him, why would I do that?
Exactly. Especially all of it the same day.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Why would I do that? Knowing that
It
he'll
was like
probably
a
be up all night. And
right.
it
It
was,
was for show.
Right. It was a bon voyage party.
yeah.
Mhm.
And, you
And it
know,
was so that he was seen at multiple places.
Yes, ma'am.
and what's
Just in
funny
case
is,
this place didn't catch him, the next one would. Sorry, Mom.
what's funny is what it was at the second interview she said a thump.
No, it was like
It
the
was the
third
third.
one, I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, what happened to the thump afterwards? How many interviews had they had?
Right. And what happened to the thump the first two?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because that would be
That was a
something
big
that should
piece.
be like fresh in your head.
The biggest thing that stood out in your mind.
Right. Because you'd been like, God, had I just checked, had I just checked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when my great grandkids were staying here with their dad, he was at work. If I heard a bump or a cry or whatever, I went in and looked.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You,
And I'm really disgusted over the pull ups.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So
So many red flags.
so how long did he have to stay in those tulips without being changed?
Overnight, from what I'm understanding, right?
But Seth didn't have no problem with it.
Nope, because he wasn't full of anxiety at Cess. He wasn't being screamed at Cess or meant, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wasn't being made to feel like nothing at Cess.
Steph let him be a child.
Yep. And was teaching him to be self sufficient and
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he? Didn't he say he was even having him help cook?
yeah,
Yeah, and help and tried to get him to drive.
yep. But he was not interested and I think that is a spectrum issue because my son is going to be 26 and still will not drive.
So scared of it.
Yes.
Accident.
I was in one when
Yeah.
he was a little boy.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
when
can
he got
relate
to
to
him
that.
and his dad got to the scene when they were putting me in the ambulance, and I think that fucked with him. And then seeing me in the hospital messed with him.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Okay, Heather. Thank you.
It was just like with Sebastian with grass or ants.
Exactly. Any type of trauma.
It's
They
going
they
to
hold on
stick
to
with
that.
you.
Yeah, they hold on to that deeper than we do.
Exactly. If it happens at a young age, it's going to stick with you.
Yep. I begged my ex-husband. I was like, "Don't come. Call mom. Take him over there. He doesn't need to see me like this." But he brought him anyway.
Well,
Which I know, Dougie needed to see mommy was okay, but
well, and maybe one day he will drive. You'll never know.
right. But as of right now, he is not interested. I said, Bud, it would make your life a lot easier. He's like, I'm good. I know how to walk and take the bus. I'm like, okay.
You always call a cab.
Right. That's what he does.
What is they call it? Uber. now?
Uber. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why did they change the name?
Well, they didn't. There's like Uber, Lyft, and then there's a taxi service. The Uber and the Lyft are faster, but also probably more expensive, I would think. The taxi, you kind of, I don't know. I don't know why they do it, but people are making money doing it. I'm not getting in the car with a
Mm-hmm.
stranger, that's for sure.
Me either.
Mm-hmm.
Especially where we live.
Right. Especially where I live.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No.
I used to ride around with a taxi driver back in the day. We were buddies. I sat in the back and just rode around all night with him. You know, it's against the law, but I did it anyway.
My daddy used to be a taxi driver. He did. And I don't remember it, but I guess I didn't sleep well at night. And he used to put me in the back seat. And if somebody came in, he put me in the front seat. And I slept through the whole night.
Aw.
Yeah. According to my mother. Not sure it happened, but according to my mother. And I always believe my mother.
Right.
But yeah,
My mom gets me involved in some bullshit. And you know what I'm talking about. It's all her fault. And she's over there, what I do. Don't act like you're innocent.
no, it's all right. I blame Fusion on all the crap.
Mm-hmm. It's all my fault.
It's all her fault.
Mm-hmm.
What, Mom? You are not innocent. You're just cute. So people think you're innocent.
How old is she, hon?
75, right? She'll be 76 in September.
Yeah. So she's 10 years older than I am.
She was born in 48.
I was born in 57, so I'll be 66.
And you're still young.
Well, that's what I mean. Cougar, dog.
Meow. Wow, Heather, that's awful. Oh, I just want Sebastian home so bad before Sunday.
I know.
You know, it'd be so nice. It'd be so nice if Shane and them were so right
I know.
on that
Mm-hmm.
reservation because I researched it. I mean, girl, they have their own mayor, they have their own
Yeah.
law, they
Yep.
have their
They're their own sovereign nation, basically.
yeah, they don't take money from the government.
Nope.
It's not like, you know, in our reservations here in the States. Not like Oklahoma or Cherokee or, you know, Montana or
Right.
whatever.
Right. It's a whole different ball game up there.
Exactly. It's a whole
Well, hey, son.
ballgame. And you can go on there, you can do your shopping, you can do your business and stuff like that, but they're not going to tell you anything.
Nope.
And you know, when you go through the scrolls, you have to know the history of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And I only know one history. So I don't know if they have any ties at all. I don't
Right.
know.
Because it could be a totally different last name that they're tied to.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Was Granddaddy, did he get his native papers and stuff? What was Granddaddy registered Native American?
I saw him come in, but he didn't say anything, so he must have kept scrolling.
Which one?
Our son.
Oh,
Oh, there he goes. I know. We were looking at the water park there, and it looked like a lot of fun too.
oh, that's your son. I almost blocked him. You're
What
lucky.
water park? We find a new one?
The one by the zoo. Don't say the name.
What?
The one by the zoo. Just don't say the name. Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys thinking about going there this weekend or what?
I don't know. We're talking about trying it.
A longer lazy river?
No, it's got a swim up bar.
Are you kidding?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's an extra 20 miles.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not.
Mm-mm.
I already texted Mary. I said, I'm getting in the pool tomorrow. She said, okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm going to float in the pool.
You need it after the week you've had.
Oh my God. 1 week of two shots and 2 weeks of antibiotics and another week of inventory. Yeah, I need it. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
go in there and relax. Yes, ma'am, I do. And it's going to feel so good just to float.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to find a floater, really.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, got to find one. I think
Just
Mary's
don't put any
like,
more information in there.
I feel like we should block and mute him and then let him back at this point.
Yeah. We got a lot of nosy people.
well, we're not talking about nothing. Talking about,
It's enough. It's enough.
It's enough for, yeah.
oh Lord have mercy.
Yeah, seriously, that's enough.
A lazy pool. A cooler. And that's what we're talking about.
Good night,
Oh.
Heather.
Night, Heather.
Hmm.
You know where this hatred stop?
Never. I really don't think it will. And I say that because as soon as Sebastian's found, they're going to jump onto somebody else to destroy them. And I think that that's all they are. They're so filled with hate in their heart that that's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very sad existence for them. They need to go touch some grass.
They need to go touch something.
A dirt pile, something.
Fire
They
ants.
not understand all we want is this boy home. All we want is stuff.
They don't care though. That's the problem. They don't care.
I know they don't care.
They want to stop that. If
They,
anybody had a heart, they would not get in the way of someone trying to find a child.
Right.
You are a
you know how many
miserable,
kids are
heartless
missing?
human being if you are trying to stop that.
You know how many kids are missing? I mean, just like that little baby. 5 has already been arrested.
7.
Oh, is it 7 now?
Yeah,
Oh Lord.
yeah, 2 more today.
Okay, 7. I mean, we're not. We're only talking about different states. I can't even imagine how many in our state is missing. And I think I'll research that tomorrow.
Hmm.
I really will. Something to give me to do. I mean, it's just
Why? I don't understand why attack people that are genuinely minding their own business. Number one, we literally never talked about them. Number two, and number three, we're seriously just sitting here trying to uplift a grieving father and help find his child. I don't understand
because
what there
they
is
can't.
to attack.
I think it's because they can't figure it out. They come to our page
And
and
it's like they hate us because Tony likes us. And it's like, that is so stupid. Your jealousy is showing. I'm sorry that he doesn't talk to you.
we have what? Well, Cajun flirted that's a judge,
Huh?
a lawyer, an attorney, and you know how
Hmm.
to. And y'all worked for him before. Do we not know how to research?
Right.
I studied historian in high school. I know how to research. It doesn't take brain surgery.
And I get so tired of people saying they're not even talking about Sebastian. Okay.
No, they're talking about us.
No, I mean, they're saying they yell about us and they're not even over there talking about Sebastian. It's like, whoa, do we have
We
his
have to
picture
take a
up?
break. We have to take a break sometimes, and there's nothing new to talk about. So we answer questions when people ask us.
We can't just keep going over the same things over and over again. People already know.
And the bad part about it, our family in this chat knows there's nothing new right now.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing new.
And then,
Nothing new
not
except
even to
for
mention,
Sunday coming up and it being one of the worst times of his life.
yeah,
Exactly. They don't care. They don't
and
care.
dealing with this day in and day out, it wears on you. It gets hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
You
even
have to change the
imagine.
subject sometimes.
Well,
I
right.
can't
And
even
imagine what
imagine.
if we're having a hard time dealing with it day in and day out. What is Seth going through?
He's going through hell. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine what he's going through. He's going through so many emotions right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you, the man don't sleep well.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't. And he works in, you know where he works at? Going in half asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And the
that's,
amount of pain that he's in from a shoulder injury.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when he goes back to work, and, I know he's not working now because you guys told me about it, but when he does go back to work, that's his life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anybody can take it because one of these sick people gets in their head.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm afraid of. Because you know they have TikTok and they have everything else in there. So let's say they get on a website like you know who, believe everything he says,
Right.
you know, and here's Steph walking the beat. I don't even want to think about it. Hell, shit, I would goddamn sue him. Don't know if I could or not, but I would try.
I'd like to shut JLR down, to be honest.
I don't know how you can. Look at the money he's got.
I know. And it makes me sick.
I mean, that's what I was shocked. I mean, I seen your post earlier. I wanted to comment, but I didn't because everybody could see it. And what shocked me was the money amount.
Mm-hmm. It's
What?
disgusting.
How?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what? Tell me, why did he sue his own mother?
Because he can. Because he could,
I mean,
literally.
he sued everyone else.
Why?
Why
Because
did he
was
sue the Eiffel
born?
Tower? What did the Eiffel Tower do to him?
Why did he sue his mother? Because he was born?
Probably. He's probably one of those.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
If you wouldn't have never gave birth to me, then I wouldn't be sitting here in prison. No.
You didn't give me a choice.
Right. You're in prison because you're a dumbass. You know,
Lord.
people with brains don't go to prison because they don't
And
commit the
the
crime.
Eiffel Tower, I just don't understand.
I don't understand how he can look at himself every day and be proud of himself for taking advantage of victims.
And didn't he
Mm-hmm.
sue a vet?
I wouldn't put it past him. He may have. I know he sued the president George Bush, Martha Stewart, Britney Spears, the Dallas Cowboys coach, a bunch of people he's never met.
Britney Spears for what?
Because he was trying to say he was the baby daddy.
Yeah, I guess he went off for his medicine.
Must have. I mean, he was talking to dolls.
Probably dressed in like Britney Spears. Did you do that, JLO? Just in case you're listening. Yeah.
Oh, it'll get back to him. One of his minions already
Okay.
tried to get me taken down twice now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see, I'm 2 steps ahead.
Gotta be some damn strong medicine he's on.
Well, he needs to get it filled.
Yeah.
And take it.
Yes, right?
Because that is not normal. What he is doing to Seth and Tony is not normal. And the only reason I went off on
the bad thing about it, I did listen. I did listen to the interview with the neighbor. Okay,
oh yeah,
I did listen to that. Nothing was said about Seth.
Mm-mm.
Nothing. It was all them.
Yeah, and CP made a post.
The freaking house was sold.
CP made a comment about that
He did?
on a post. Yeah. Let me see where it was.
What was it?
He said he said, this is CP, he said, she said too much already, and all that's in caps. And then it says, not thrilled, Bobby.
Oh, is that a threat?
She said too much already.
Sounds like a threat to me.
That's how I took it.
Yeah, she might have to get a lawyer on that one.
She might need security.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's already.
Yeah. That somebody said that to me. That's a threat.
And you know what makes me even more sick is that he's living the life he wanted to begin with his daughter.
Right. Yep.
Of course. And why New Mexico?
But he didn't want her. I mean, he's spending his time stalking, all the pages and everything like that instead of spending time with her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure when she goes to bed and sleep in Sebastian's bedroom,
Right.
No, she has her own bedroom.
and little girly, I don't blame the girl. I don't blame the girl. I fear for her,
I fear for
Yeah.
her too.
Mm-hmm.
but
She has to know.
I just, I'm sure he's up texting, YouTubing,
Mm-hmm.
going from different chat to different chat.
Oh, you know he is.
Oh yeah, he is. They're gonna slip up. They're gonna get caught. But both of you need to watch. Like I said, I think it's the second video of Bullhorn of Betty.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch all three of them that she did today.
Huh?
I'm gonna watch all three of them that she did today.
Yeah, I am too. I watched the first two. I'm gonna watch the last one. But you guys need to watch the overlay because that is really whoever did that. They flew right on. And she went and she says she doesn't like it, but she had to go on another creative platform to get some information. She said,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like her. You know how Betty is. She did. It actually helped.
Betty's not one to mess with.
It actually helped because she put it all together. But the overlay really, and the pinpoints, you got to watch the lights. You got to watch. You just really got to watch it close. And I think the other two needs to watch it too. Because there was a third party involved.
The video that I saw of Bullhorns that really scared me when she was talking about the neighbor's interview. Sorry. She was talking about the neighbor's interview, and then she was like, and boom, there's a shadow, and I jumped so high. I'm like, don't do that, Betty.
I think that's when she seen the light.
Mm-hmm. When all the lights went out, and then there was a shadow in the window.
Right. And she said, and she did say it scared her too.
Well, yeah, she scared me explaining it.
But right before, or is it right after? You got to watch the videos. It's right after. I think that's where the lights comes in from the back. That's where the old lady.
I knew that wasn't a damn trash truck.
No, it wasn't.
They
No
don't run
trash
at
truck
3
runs that
a.m.
time of the morning. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. And she thinks it's an SUV. but you gotta watch it.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it too.
I like take all three of them and like have notes. I mean, I don't work for 3 days, so thank God. But watch all three of them, take time notes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Katrina.
So Kayla, you ever get the picture of the makeup?
Eyebrows.
Yes, that was hilarious.
I told her to send you pictures of it because I did my makeup.
Shit, that woman is so funny.
What's your question, Katrina? KP has something with Sebastian missing. Seen you went missing. What do you mean, Joanne?
What did Sebastian have missing? According to KP, he didn't have nothing missing.
I'm waiting to see what she says.
Tell Delta I want a steak delivered to my house. Loaded potato and a salad.
He would do it.
Mhm.
No, I don't expect him to do it.
Don't tell Nikki, but he spent $36 to do that.
I believe it.
I said, "You are nuts."
Well, with Hoover, I mean, whatever they DoorDash or whatever
Mm-hmm.
it's called, yeah, I believe it. I'm surprised it only cost 36. Really, I think it's about 50, $60.
Right. Well, I was like, "What'd you find?" I was already. I thought you found something. I was like, "What'd you find?"
I'm still waiting for your question, Katrina. And Joanne, what did you mean by that? Oh yeah, I think she had something to do with it also. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't see it, honey. It probably filtered it.
Use different wording.
There's probably one word or something that it caused it to filter.
Let me check something. Ah, okay. Hang on. I had to take some keywords out of the block keywords list. Someone
Oh,
had
okay.
put in there the word yes, the word and, the word but, and the word so.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So now there's just 4 left in there that do need to be blocked.
Wow. That was
Sometimes
probably my rogue mod that I had.
Yep.
I wondered why so many crazy things were getting. Uh,
You got me now. I'll help you out.
thank you.
Ride or die, my friend. Ride or die. Or
I
ride or
know
unalive, my lord.
it.
Fucking
It just
pushing.
doesn't sound as serious like
It
that.
don't. Ride or unalive, my friend. Ride or unalive. No, Katrina.
Try it again. She took out some of the keywords that were added. I don't know how they got added on there that were blocking. So
But there are 4 keywords still left in there. So if you're using one of those, try to phrase it different. Maybe put periods in between a few letters or something.
you're seeing it because you typed it, but it doesn't show on our end. Just like if one of us typed something and it filtered it, we would see it, but you wouldn't. That's why it confuses people when it filters it, because you see it there.
Hey, Stephen.
Yes, he is. That is not true. People are saying that he got fired. That's not true. And if you tried to put the word fired in there, that might be why it filtered it.
Yep.
Yep, just another nasty rumor. Tony and Randy are very close friends.
And have been.
Yeah, that's how he ended up helping him, was because they've been friends for years. The thing about that page, Randy made the page for Tony to use. And because nothing is moving on that case, he told Tony that they don't need that page anymore. And he told Tony just to take it, change it, put it to your name, and you use it.
Randy never did like TikTok anyway.
Nope. Yeah, it's running wild, Stephen.
That's nobody's business.
Yeah, that's right, Joanne.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors running crazy right now. And Cajun has spoken to Randy herself, so
Yes. So when I tell you guys something, I can tell you for a fact because I have vetted it myself. Oh, okay, Steven. Okay. I know, Joanne, and that's what we're fed up with.
I like your new fence, Stephen. That was a great video. I don't know about you. What made you think to power wash your truck? That's where I'm at with it. I mean, I can see where the pit is at, but the truck, you crack me up.
You're welcome to come up if you want, Stephen. We've just been in here just kind of shooting the breeze. Or pew-pew in the breeze. I can't even say that. Dad gummit. All these stupid phrases. We're going to pew-pew the breeze.
Hey guys.
Hey, Stephen.
Oh man. So yeah, somebody was in the comments and they asked about what barbecue had put in my life, and she had repeated it in there. I don't think she's the one that. I'll be honest about this. I don't think she's the one that started it, but she repeated it, and of course, it's about 2 phones being missing. First and foremost, so I just posted a video pissed off because I got 500 messages, not really, but like 10 messages back to back. Oh my God, do you see that missing phone? Here's my thing about this. When law enforcement came in, this is just facts. They come in, they do a data dump, they get all the phones. I guess people don't understand how that works. Like they've got every bit of that information. If 2 phones even were to come up missing, they would have the information from those phones.
Right.
And all of a sudden there was like 2 phones. Okay, if that's the case, then if there was something incriminating on them, then they would have already dealt with that.
Right.
2, if it was incriminating, they would have kept the phones.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things I could have said this. So if 2 phones come up missing, then it would have to be that it was with the individual who it belonged to, and they just fucking lost it. I don't know,
Right.
but you can't tell me that it came from the fucking sheriff's department. So that somehow it grew legs and walked out of there.
Right.
They didn't have
Yeah,
no phone.
exactly.
No. So I don't know who's telling anybody that they're because I'm gonna tell you this: Tim Bailey damn sure ain't. I know ain't nobody up at the sheriff's department's not.
Right.
That their cell phones. Yeah, we had them in my possession and now they're gone. So if there wouldn't, so I'm assuming what I'm going to hear tomorrow now is, well, no, they were phones that were taken. They took the information off of them as part of evidence and stuff just to make sure that where Sebastian was. Now I'm telling you, when they do a data dump on these phones and they download every bit, it doesn't matter from laptops, phones, cars, everything. That shit it will tell on your ass.
Yes, it will.
It's not just about them trying to locate Sebastian at that point. They're looking through your damn phone to make sure you ain't done nothing.
Yep.
So
Well, not only that, Stephen, it will tell you.
Bad echo.
It will tell
that me?
you where you have searched.
Yeah, exactly. Like if people think you can, everybody's like, well, you can delete stuff. No, you can't, buddy. Now iPhone has a protection. Am I echoing, KGN?
Yeah.
Here, I can come out. And
It's fine when you talk.
I wonder
Oh
if
yeah. Somebody's.
Hold on. Let me mute me. Because it has to be me.
Okay, talk.
Yeah, it is you.
Okay, it is you.
All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Who's spreading this now?
Probably all of the same ones.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. I know. Oh my God.
And this is what I mean. We're trying
It's
to just.
never ending.
It's never ending. And
It's about a 15-year-old boy that is freaking missing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we all have. Every day there's something, and I don't believe that barbecue is the one that started that either, because I believe I know who it was.
Right.
But when they do phone dumps, computer dumps, they have everything.
Everything. They have where you have went, search, on Google
Yes.
or anything.
Am I good?
Yep.
Yep, that's better.
I don't know why it does that. I don't even get a phone call or nothing. I guess it's just where I keep it open or something. I don't know. Hell, it was playing a video the other day, and dude, it sounded so bad. I'll be honest. It sounded like something that was not good.
Oh, well.
I swear that is not what these think it is.
Sometimes it'll do it if you watched a video in between, if you have a phone call.
Or if you come up
Anything
too
different.
fast.
Yeah, it's crazy how it does all that.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Sorry, but yeah, no, I was on a rant, man. It just pissed me off because, like, again, in KGN, I'm just saying this to y'all, like, because I do respect y'all highly. I will say that there is things that me and Tony, I don't talk to Tony about the case. He will tell you that. I don't talk to them. I ask, hey, about a certain area, and I'll go hit it. And I mean, hell, if I got to, I'll text Seth, hey, is it cool to go here? You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that it's okay. Because I also don't want to go anywhere that I shouldn't be, that don't make no sense, right? So
Right.
all this stuff being said, like, there's some things I don't agree that Tony does, but that's okay. He's human, man. And at the end of the day,
Right.
it's like, just like somebody said, well, I thought you used, when you were picking on him, I thought y'all would not. Dude, y'all take things and put it way into perspectives that are just fucking like,
Yep.
it's called,
They
dude, do you
run with it.
understand how much shit Tony gives me? Tony
Yeah.
picks on me all the time, man. Just over my boat and all kinds of shit. Just being a friend. To be honest, I don't have a problem with Tony as far as, do I think, and I said it earlier, and I have no problem saying it here. It's like, do I agree with how he is as a spokesperson for Seth? No, I don't. Not with a lot of stuff. But I tell you what, Seth and them really like him. They got him. So at the same time, it's like, okay, we can bash on people all we want, but at the same time, it's about Sebastian. If that's who the family chooses, we need to support him.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's like shit, man. We can all disagree to agree on some shit, but spreading this fucking shit just like a wildflower, man.
It is. It's not helping anything.
And then I'm terrible with wording, so it can sound like, I'm gonna tell you, if I was super pissed or if it was something really bothering me, I probably most likely wouldn't talk about it, to be honest with y'all, because I close off. I
Well,
close off
the
when
thing
I'm
is,
really upset.
Stephen,
And at the end of the day,
Stephen, it's about
go
a
ahead.
15-year-old boy. And
Yeah, absolutely.
everybody's got to get through their head.
You want me to tell you what I saw last night that pissed me off? Tell me why when
What?
scrolling on Facebook at 1 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't sleep because all I do is sit here and think, like literally just think. And
Me too.
I'm involved with, I can't say her last name. She's going to kill me. San Antello. We're trying to help.
Yeah.
Santinello.
Yeah, super sweet woman. And
Yes, she is.
I got to call her back tomorrow, but I'm going to make sure she has a rental car and all that other stuff while she comes here because, I mean, dude, she's already gone through a lot in almost a year. So
Right.
it's like, in her case in itself is just holy crap, man. Dude, to hear what the detectives told this woman blew my fucking mind. I was like, they really told her they know everything, but there's nothing they can do. They will come back in a few months and tell you. It's like, but yet here's 6 months later with no new information. And it's like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, so taking perspective, I'm hearing it from my mother. And then I think about Seth. And I think about, I will say, I think about Chris and Katie. Like, even though I have opinions, I just think about it now from a different perspective. Like, holy shit, I couldn't be I don't know how to feel about any of it. Do I agree? If we talk about theorizing, like, dude, I think that's part of true crime. Like, in what you see, I think there might be some confusion when we look at true crime videos because we're on that side of TikTok, whether we like it or not.
Yep.
And we're also talking about missing boys. So sometimes we get kind of in that way where we're talking with like somebody like Colin, who I highly respect, honestly. Ocean, who's highly respectable. Like, these people, that's what they do. They're really good at digging in investigative stuff. That's what they do. So, you will get conversations, and that's where I even said this earlier. It's like, I don't agree with the theorizing about stuff, but when we're talking about not Sebastian in the whole of like searching or nothing like that, it's talking about the case and it's keeping it up.
Right.
So why not? You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
and it's not bashing.
No, exactly. It's not bashing. It's not. It's also not. You're not tearing people the fucking complete down.
Right.
Exactly.
well, and then I got my ass chapped about the videos because I said, look, I've seen 2 videos, and I can tell you right now, I put that one that was out there through a fucking Adobe in DaVinci editor, and it showed it was layered.
Yep.
And I was
Yep.
like, you can't take TikTok. I said, now here's the thing: if TikTok was operating, I said, now I've seen the other video where that it was that same live where I don't see anything.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I said, and I put that in the editor, and guess what it finds? No layers. Do you know why? Because TikTok has its own software within it that runs that fucking green screen.
Yep.
It's not a secondary layer from Adobe or
Right.
anything else
Right.
on top of it. So it's like people just, I mean, really, it's really easy. You just slap it in there. It'll tell you. Like,
Yep.
you don't even have to know how to use it. It will literally say it's layered.
Yep.
Layered
Not to
software.
mention the fact that he would have got bananaed immediately had that
Yep.
happened.
Dude, I can't even fucking go on screen and blow a cloud out without getting fucking restricted.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
So, and I'm talking about I'm off the screen.
Right.
We seen it. So, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I just had to rant for a minute because I've not done that.
No, you're
Well,
fine. That's what we've been doing.
That's what we've been doing.
Okay,
Join the
okay,
club. We can't
Stephen,
sleep
I
It
wanna
either.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
I'm a grandmother, great grandmother. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you think about he getting his daughter for the summer?
I don't think it's a good idea. I don't. Given the situation that's at hand, you still got a 15-year-old boy missing with no answers, and
Right.
even though that maybe they don't think the parents did it and whatnot, right? We're talking about what. There's still the fact that without a definitive, to me that's if the cops or anybody's letting that happen, that's saying that definitively they think they're not guilty.
Right.
Like, and my personal opinion states that, hey man, if it's still an open investigation, honestly, I just don't think that's a good idea. Now, that's a different judge, I'm assuming, and a different case and somewhere
Right.
else. But
New
I
Mexico, yeah.
at the end of the day, I don't know. And maybe, and let me say this from Chris's standpoint, I know that is his daughter, right? And he wants to see her. But I would also have to think how people would feel and how bad it's going to flip things upside down for a lot of people. So,
Well,
Right.
the thing
Right.
is that I worry about is this happened on KP's
it happened when?
Didn't
On
happen
KP's
on-
watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if he's
So-
going to leave and go to work,
Exactly.
yeah, no, I could go. That's actually a good point. That is a very good point. It's
I
like,
mean, I couldn't go to work if something happened. Okay, let's say my husband and I had, of course, all of my children, his children, my children, were all one, but wondered, just out in the blue. My son went missing on his watch. Okay.
I'd be a nervous wreck going to work and leaving him there.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
You would have to think
Exactly.
that Chris. I would want to assume that even though, let's say he didn't think for a second at all, let's say, well, we know he thinks that, but that he knows she didn't do anything, but still there's that what if. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that what if.
It's
would
that
be
thing in
mind.
that back of your head.
How much you want to bet he will keep them at the campground?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
24/7.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
the sad part about it, from a legal standpoint, a judge cannot hold this against them because they are not suspects and they are not even named as a person of interest. So
That is
legally, they cannot use that against them. But my issue is with the open DCS reports, with the restraining order that Nina got, and with just the interviews he's done that he's shown his temper. Those things alone should be enough for the judge to say, okay, something's up here. We have to make sure, we got to get these cases investigated and closed. And that's where I have a problem with it.
And
Well, you
Right.
know
The
what's
judge
crazy?
should have shown a little bit of pause.
Well, and with
Right.
his comment says, well, she needs it, I'll take the belt to her.
So here's what's crazy about this, right? And here's where this is a bigger problem in general for all kids. So tell me why. I know somebody, and it's my family, okay? I have to be honest, it's ex family. It's my younger brother's ex who failed multiple drug tests. The kids had meth in their fucking system, and yet she still had she was able to have two other kids and keep custody of them.
Make that make
Yeah,
sense.
that's yeah.
See what I'm saying? It's a failed system, man.
It is
Oh,
all
yes.
the way
It's a failed
around.
system. Or you remember the poor little 4-year-old that passed away down south? I mean, this little 4-year-old, his aunt adopted him because the mom couldn't take care of him. She was supposed to love him like his own. She willingly took him in. She could have let him go to another family, but then she murdered or unalives him. You know, that's not. And there was already reports that she had. There was reports from DCS on her, so it's like you could have saved that child.
Right.
And so it gets very frustrating. Man.
The whole system for our kids is broken.
I'm not going to tell you where I work. I'm not going to tell you where I work or what I do or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we have a person that we fired. Okay. She has been pregnant twice, gave one up for adoption. And the oldest one, she's trying to get back. They took her away because of her sleeping in motels, and you can gather what happened.
Yeah, I got where you're going with that.
Okay. She goes to court in 2 weeks to get her child back.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't give her a child back. I'm just,
You know, I mean, and the child lives here in where I live.
Yeah. See, and that's crazy to me because, you know,
I mean, she doesn't need that child back. I know. I worked with her. I know her attitude and her. Okay, how can I say this? Boyfriend, uncle, whoever he is, they live together.
that's no. See, no, no, that wouldn't happen out there, bud. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You know, so here's what's crazy, right? There's a,
But this is the system that we live in now, and it's got to be changed.
I feel like I know. See, that's what bothers me is like, because what I've noticed is that we all care. Like, even though some of us have some weird ass, not talking about us, but you know where I'm getting at with this.
Mm-hmm.
There's some weird ways, but there's a general care in everybody. Like, we could be a voice that could really speak for these kids instead, especially those like Sebastian. I'm about to tell you all about Bradley Close, right? Bradley Close is from Peoria, Arizona. He's been missing since April 8th, autistic. He left his wallet, his backpack, everything at his job in his locker. He went to go outside. He vanished. Not been seen since. You don't hear about him on the news. You don't see about him on the news. You don't nothing. So I'm trying to reach out to the family and let them know, like, hey, if you need help, we can push this out, and please know there's people out there for you. That's
Absolutely. And send me the information. I'll definitely get on it.
Yeah. What
Bradley Close.
can you say the state?
Yeah, Peoria, Arizona.
Okay.
You'll see a picture of him. He's 16. He's got long brown hair.
Is he on your page, Stephen?
No, go to a missing people alerts, Matt's page. He's on there, and I just got done talking about him. I got to put it on my I'm gonna put it on my story so I can share his little thing. But it's just crazy to me. And Matt's the one that told me, he said, hey man, can you look at this? And I'm like, he's like, Matt means very well. He just knows like the following and stuff.
Have you did background checks on the family and everything?
Dude, so man, I promise y'all, when y'all look this up, and y'all are better at this than I am. obviously I come in from the support aspect, right? Like I want to be able to help them, like if they need something, like you know what I mean. And
Right.
so,
Mm-hmm.
but digging into this stuff and what I seen, it was so fucking vague. And I'm like, so I was going to call down there. I know it sounds crazy, but I called. I don't know if y'all seen this. Danielle can tell you I was big in helping with Amber, or not Amber, Abigail. Sorry, Amber's another person I'm thinking about right now too. But Abigail Velez. And I talked to Danielle for an hour and a half. And do you know she said something? I shared it on my on one of my videos. It gave a little bit of insight to how the cops do work in investigations of missing kids, right? And it was actually nice to see where she said we were told, hey, don't watch what we say, don't let certain information out to the public because it could hinder the safety of the child. Like they, but at this point they knew where she was most likely and everything. You see what I'm saying? So that made a lot of sense in Sebastian's case where we don't have shit.
All right.
It's like
We don't have. We have nothing. We have no clothes, no shoes, no
Nothing.
that to me is why. So this Bradley Close guy, Klose, he same shit, man. Like you don't just leave your wallet, and your laptop, backpack, and everything at work at 4:15
Mm-mm.
and just vanish.
Right. That's how I feel
Right.
about Sebastian. You know, you're 15 years old, and if you're planning to run away, you're going to at least take your phone, your switch, your backpack, and your
Something.
shoes.
That's important, you know, especially. And everybody's like, well, I wouldn't take my phone. I'm like, bullshit. I would. And then at a certain point, I'd ditch it.
Well,
mean,
did Jeff say
ditch
that
where
he
I'm-
loved his switch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You're talking about an autistic child. He's gonna take something.
Right. My son did. My son took his phone, his coat, some extra clothes, and his video games. And of course, his shoes. You know, the most important
Right.
thing, the shoes.
Yeah, missing
Okay, this
people
was
are
back
tedious,
in what? With Sebastian went missing what? Back in February.
Yeah.
February 26th.
Okay, it had to be 40, 50 degrees.
So I looked up the temperature of that night, right? And I went
Yeah.
back. So we had a fairly warm February, but guess what? On that day specifically, we were coming through a cold front and it dropped back in the 30s.
Here's
Okay.
my question, because you live there.
Yeah.
Would somebody get far barefoot?
No, not well. Let me say this: in Sebastian's case, I wouldn't see how, unless he's on the main roads.
Okay.
If you go out of Stafford Court, you know it's concrete and then it goes to pavement. But even then, let's say if he had to go off in the ditches and stuff. No, man, these ditches that run on Long Hollow are fucking steep sometimes. And even right there by Stafford Court, he has ditches that are pretty steep. I can tell you, I was out yesterday, and that's all I'll say. And we went to an area that was close to Stafford Court. And Cajun, you may be aware of it, but it was there. There was a dog there, and some other stuff was going on, and we were out there, and I was flying a drone. And what was crazy is we were told that, hey, you know, there's an SO lives in this same area.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We were right at the house where it burned down and it was abandoned. And then when you go in the back, I walked in those woods and stuff, and they're telling us, like, here's what's crazy. There's no absolute fucking way they checked that area. There's no way a search team went through that area. There's just not. And it really makes you think. Now, I can't confirm that, right? That's just my opinion. And I will say
Right.
Your
several
opinion.
others that were there that were like, there ain't no way that search team has been through here. So, given the terrain and area, which is just, I swear, not even 3-4 minutes on the other side of the hill where, Sebastian lives. So that's hence why I wasn't in the water yesterday. And then today I had all hell break loose with a fiber optic cable getting broke. So that sucked. But tomorrow I got to go. I'll be at lock. Well, I think many people. I'll be on lock 3. I got to finish that up out there because I will say this definitively. I feel really good that given the person that's reviewing my footage, And I have all the footage saved too. And I told Tony like once everything's done and set that hey, and they clear everything, I'm still going to give it over to them just in case those eyes miss something.
Right.
I think it would be very valuable for at least somebody to have.
Right.
But I can say that without a doubt, went through several bridges, and I mean, I'm not talking about just looking and going away. No, I rescan, scanned again, and just to be sure because that you can tell if anybody. Y'all know how rivers and lakes work, and when floodwaters run, you also can tell where stuff pools by the logs and the debris.
Right.
So of course, I was watching how everything was moving in the water, and being from here, like Tony can even tell you this, is like you get used to how the channels flow, where they pull up at. So I made sure to go in those areas too because I'm like, well, anything can happen, right? So, and again, most of it's been really clear. There was 2 occasions, and Tony even knows this because I even sent it to him, of where there was a box. It was a perfectly square fucking item in the water, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I mean, it's probably like 41 feet down, and I'm like, and then Tony's like, no, he said, is that an old flood? Like that's an old town that was flooded, right? I'm like, I believe so. And he said, so you could be looking at a concrete, like where they set concrete for a post or something back in the day. And he said that because it was just too perfectly square. And I was like, okay, cool, thank you. And then I got a little frustrated with the choppy water because, dude, there are so many damn man-made structures in this water for fishing tournaments, I guess, that shit got confusing there for a minute too. And I had to call Tony again. So I was like, man, he knows those sonars like the back of his hand, man.
Do you know if you're the first one that has been in the water?
That's what I've been told, yeah.
That's what I thought I heard too.
And I'm like, and that surprised out. I'll tell you what's more upsetting. I got really pissed off at Facebook and some other because I have an old Facebook. I don't even get on it. I have a Facebook that's tied to the ASK project stuff when we go live in a couple weeks. And, I don't have my picture on or nothing, but, it's a way I get on there and look at stuff, obviously. I'm sneaking around. But but at the end of the day, it made me mad because I had my mom and a couple other people post about, hey, please, if you have a boat in Hendersonville and hit Hendersonville and everything, could you meet me here? I can discuss the details once you arrive, but it's very important. I just don't want to blast it on the internet. And dude, we had like 3 or 4 people say so, and then they would call. 2 of them called me, and I waited like 45 minutes. And he just kept telling me, "Oh, another 30 minutes." I was like, "You know what, dude? Don't even worry about it. I'll just go. I'm wasting time." So, but I do
That's
think
frustrating.
No, it is frustrating, man. You know what's really frustrating, and I know y'all know this, is like even with the people, they talk about him and we want to help out and we want to talk, but most of these people haven't even like Cajun puts a lot of time to this. Kayla, I know puts time to this. I know Trooper, I've seen you put a lot of time to this. So at the same time, these other people who want to criticize and wreck people down haven't even actually done 1/3 of anything.
Right.
If they've done
Exactly.
anything.
All they do is sit and talk about people that are trying to do anything.
Right.
Yep. And let me say this: I'm guilty of maybe miswording or saying something that maybe shouldn't, out of frustration of something. And
You're human.
Yeah, and I've got to do better at that myself though, because sometimes I get frustrated and I want to just come straight to TikTok and I'm like, you know what, Steven, shut the fuck up.
I haven't got there yet because I blew up Monday and I lost my shit on my live for about an hour and a half. So
Well,
That was
Kayla,
was
yesterday.
Kayla,
it?
you blew up
Lord.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm calling you out, girl.
Well, I have anxiety and these people are getting on my damn nerves.
Well, these people are getting on my nerves too. Hey, Steven, putting it on the lighter side. How many more days before you get married?
So it's the 22nd, and trust me, you want me to say this, and
Are you stressing yet?
fuck yeah, I am. Yeah, I am, man.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
So so I've got a good song picked out for my daughter for the daddy-daughter dance, right? And we've got our songs picked out. But do you know I'm having a hard time with a song for my mom and my grandma? And I just the same, like, there's these songs that are constantly replayed, you know, and I'm like, I want something different. And I'll be honest with y'all, it ain't like I can listen to like metal or nothing like that, you know, because you just can't slow dance to that shit. I mean, I
How,
guess,
Right.
how about the good old days?
what song? Who's that by? Why does that sound familiar?
Winona Judge and her daughter, isn't it?
I'll check that out. I don't.
It's called the good old days.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
one,
see,
the one that mom danced to with my husband was "Because You Love Me"
Yeah,
by Celine
who's
Dion.
that by?
from
Celine
Celine
Dion.
Dion. Hmm.
Yeah, I'll check that out, man. Because it's been that's honest to God, that's the most stressful part.
Yeah,
It's like,
my son and my dance was because you love me, and it said a lot.
But it's
oh,
because for a long time it was just she and him,
yeah.
and so she felt like he was kind of her backbone for a while. So that's the song she chose. So it's a good one.
Oh, he's a ghost.
He's back.
I can
I'm
still
back.
hear
There you
you.
are.
When
No.
I go out and I'm looking at my messages, I can still. I don't know if y'all know that you can still hear y'all. And stuff,
Yeah.
so I just can't. I don't think y'all can hear me for some
But
reason.
Right.
the good old days is a good song for like mom and grandmother, hon,
Okay,
because it kind of mentions both of them.
got you.
So check
I'll
that
take a
song
look.
out, the good old days.
Here, I'll tell y'all. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you the song I got from my dog.
Okay.
It's Gabby Barrett. Dance like no one's watching.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
That shit made me tear
That's
up.
Right.
That's a good one.
Like,
It
There's a
is a good
song
one.
I gave to my son. He's getting married soon, and
Oh,
I
Okay.
gave
yeah.
him one. And I'll have to find it and send it to you because it's if you don't cry, you ain't human.
Well, so what's funny is that my daughter, I wouldn't get to see my daughter for a couple of years because me and the mom, and so me and the mother, her husband, we got in a prison still together. Well, it was right in the beginning of COVID. Well, it fell apart. Casey begged me not to do it 2 or 3 times, and I honestly should have listened, and it went downhill. Me and him got into it, and then unfortunately, Caden took the wrath of that, and so I ended up having. We never went through court, so I didn't have like a PPP or not like a parenting plan or nothing, and so like trying to get her was almost damn near impossible. So it was like 30 grand I spent on just getting the custody part of it, just to be able to get her every other weekend and stuff. And Tennessee's like a pro mom state, which in a lot of ways is cool, right? But at the same time, it's like and I speak on that because my mom's the mother of 4 boys, and she done it by herself. So
Right.
like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, screw Tennessee for being pro mom. It's just being a guy who has a daughter now, or any
Right.
kid for that matter, it's just like it kind of sucks.
Dads are important too.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
That's right.
I wish more people understood that, but what upset me the most is that I never would have thought that she would have used her daughter as a pawn.
Right.
And that right there is what broke me, man. Because this was my best friend of 13 years. We would accidentally have a kid, and it was like we both told each other, no matter what, we're parents. It is what it is. We made a mistake, but we're still good friends. We're not going to let this interfere with being parents. And we did amazing up until that happened. And then,
Well, Stephen, like I always say, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes.
oh yeah, no, and I forget we've long moved past it now since all this. I think the cool part is she saw that I'd fight for her, and I think that really that showed her like, hey,
You do care.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like no, it takes longer than you think. It ain't no damn 1-2 month process. This shit took forever.
It does.
Uh-huh.
It does because you have to fight tooth and nail.
Oh man, and then hell, it ain't you that wants to push it out. The lawyer will push it out.
Yep.
Yep.
It's like, what the hell? They won't even tell you about it until you're there.
Right.
Oh yeah, we moved this to next month. It's like, what? And then in our case,
Yeah.
it's like moved to 3 months later.
What the
So,
hell were you trying to do with your fence? And why did you
Probably.
think using the truck was a good idea? I feel bad for this truck right now.
Yeah, it's got a little bit.
Well, before you guys go any farther, I am going to bed.
Yeah, I'm fixing to do the same.
Out. I
But,
love
All
you
right.
guys.
Good night,
All
Mom.
right. Good night, Mom. Love you.
But yeah, no,
Love you, Mom.
I was backing up, and my truck usually yells at you, and it didn't this time, and I hit it. And I was like, oh man, I got out and looked at it. And so then I tried to set it back up, and I got mad. I was like, you know what? And I was like, I jumped back in the fucking truck, and I just kept reversing over it. And it finally, I got it to lay completely over, and I was like, there we go. And I got out, and I was like, well, shit, I just snapped that damn board off into the ground. And then it was just a whole mess from there. So I was like, you know what? Lauren comes home. She's like, oh my God, what'd you do? I was like, I made a giant opening. And she was like, for what? I was like, it was accidental, but hey, we can put a gate up now, and now we can get into it with our vehicle. She just
You
like,
spun that right into a positive.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
because she was that. Believe it or not, that little fence was a shit ton of money. Just and you know what pissed me off? You would have thought they'd have been concreted into the ground. Them assholes put that shit right in the dirt. I'm like, dude, that would have rotted out anyway.
Right?
So it
You've
is.
had a crazy 3 weeks with your at-home projects, sir.
Oh, no, I'm gonna tell you right now, that is one fucking hundredth of a fraction of the shit I get myself into. Like, I should not be allowed to do much. To be honestly, like me telling you I own a business, just take that for what it is.
Right.
I'll tell you right now. It's like everybody asks me all the time, and because I'm out in the field with the guys, like I'll climb towers still to this day, and I have a really good CM and stuff like that. So I'm very thankful, and I have a financial advisor. My first year, I almost wrecked my company. Like we went under almost, and I was like, I learned real quick. I don't know how to manage money. Just because you own the business doesn't mean that business is your personal bank account.
Right.
Right.
You know, and so I learned a lot, you know. So it's like, okay, I'll pay myself, you know, a wage, and I'll say what I make. I make 130 a year, and dude, that pays for everything I need, and I'm very fortunate for that. And hell, but if the shit keeps going the way it is, I'll have to give myself a bonus, I guess. But you know, after I collapse the damn company, like that's the only thing that upset me the other day is I have a contract with Verizon and they chose to go with Ericsson, which is a huge company. And the reason why they would do that is instead of paying us all these little GCs that are here, there's like 126 or 226, sorry, GCs in the Southeast are what we call the CAR 10. Well, every one of us got that same email stating that they're giving all the radio swaps, 449, and I know y'all have no idea what this means, but the 449s and 88 are to Ericsson. And we were like, what the hell? That's 90% of our work. Like when these radios go out, we go up and fix them. That's what we do. And I was like, well, you're still going to do BizWire and PIM. Well, then we get a phone call, I shit you not, Wednesday of last week saying, well, that system's broken and it hasn't been working for 6 months. And we're like, are you fucking serious? So when are we just not going to see tickets? So that's when I made that post. I was like, we're fucked. And then thankfully, I guess they acknowledged the system being broke, fixed it. And then today we were back at our normal site count, which I'm very thankful for. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm done. I'm tired of cell phone towers. It's not the same what I remember. I've done it for 12 years. Used to, you could build a cell phone tower for Verizon, and let's say the whole build overall, not in a new area, be about $120,000 what you make. Now I'm talking about stacking it, doing everything right. Now you're lucky if you see 60 something, and by the time you pay employees, that's got to be out there for 2 to 3 weeks, and you really lose your ass. You're really just doing it for, you know, just to stay afloat. And I just want to. I've got a direction to change now, and which is underground fiber and drilling, which is something else we do. And I think that's the route I'm going to take. But you know, like I told my guys, I got 33 guys that work for me, and it's like at the end of the day, I want that's their families I'm worried about because they rely on me. And so I broke down and I was like, these guys, I swear I've only had 2 people leave on their own accord because they believed in themselves so much. And I believed in them that they wanted to start their own businesses, and they have, and they've been successful. And I'm thankful for that. But these guys have been with me my entire from when I started in 2018 in November. They've been with me since, and so
Wow.
they're dedicated to me as much as I need to be dedicated to them. So when all this happened, I lost it because I was like, dude, I can't do this to these guys. Like I got to figure something out. Like we're all family now.
Right.
So,
And you feel like you let everybody down.
dude, yeah, and that's what I was telling Lauren the other night. 'Cause I had a breakdown. We're fixing to get married. All this stuff's going on. I'm like, the project, and I believe in the project side of things so much, the ASK side, because despite what you might think, I truly want to help others. And I can tell you right now, there's several people that you can call, and I don't post it all the time, but I'm actively helping. I help, Jess with the trafficking person with Savory and Jess. Like just being a part of helping people, and I'm like, and I'm able to do it, and like for the first time, I feel like I have a purpose. Like I get what I'm supposed to be doing now. Like with towers, I get that's what I wanted to do, but like now I feel like there's a general reason to want to keep pushing. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh,
That
it sounds
absolutely
crazy,
does.
but it's like these people, the voice. You're literally being the voice for the voiceless.
Yes, you
And-
are.
and-
That's
and-
what I say on my page. Be
Yeah,
a
I
voice
think
for the voiceless.
Yeah, I stole it from you.
Oh.
I don't. It's not on. It's not on any of my clothing. I promise. But
Oh, you can. I don't care.
no, I definitely. But I would ask before I would steal something like that. But I trademarked my shit just because of certain people I saw on this app. I thought for sure. I was like, dude, they'd see it and take it and just.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not even going down that road, but you get what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
I was like, and then they would do it out of spite, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, but dude, I worked with 360 Marketing, and we were able to come up with the solid numbers. So 60% of all proceeds will be going to the families. And I'm not a 501, so it's obviously, I sell merchandise to be able to do this. And I can't get people to understand how that works. They're like, well, then how's the company going to survive? I'm like, if stuff is selling, it takes care of people / the company. 60% of the proceeds go towards it. So like, I was like, okay. I was like, let's just talk about this. If the shirt costs $9 and you sell it for 32, which is out, I get that's expensive, but you get what I'm saying. Like most shirts, I'm talking about on average about $20, $20 to $30, and I'm just saying you put that out there. You've got your design on it. You do all that, but in turn, you're probably, let's say if you were not doing anything like we're doing, you should see a profit of 15 to 25%, somewhere in that margin, right? Well, we were able to say, okay, well, we'll take that 25% margin and we'll flip that. And what we'll do is that 25% margin, over half of that will go towards these families, and the other rest will go back just to pay, because it doesn't, I'm using like Printful, which is a big company that does all the printing and stuff for you, and does all the shirts, and so I don't have manpower in this, so I'm able to do that.
Right.
Right.
Because everybody's like, well, why don't you print them yourself? And I'm like, well, that takes manpower, and then you have to pay for that person, and then you couldn't do the percentage you're wanting to do.
Right. And then if you have to do it yourself, that's taking you away from the families.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, like, and let me say this: I'm doing this with Sebastian, I because I'm here. I know for a fact, like, I'm not going to be able to fly. Like, I'm going to Missouri to help in Emily Strite's stuff, because I've got a boat with sonars and stuff. But to be honest, like I told Nina and like I told everybody else, I was like, I'm not a pro at this. I am taking a class right now online, and the Gallatin Fire Department offers a class, but they won't have it until fucking mid-July, they said. So I signed up for that. But they're not expensive to take these classes, just to have a basic understanding so I don't miss something. And like I told everybody, I can't be part of like a legit search team anyways because of my past. And it frustrates me, but at least I know if I can't do that, what I can do is build an organization that can at least get these search and rescue teams that otherwise would have to foot the bill themselves. I can foot the bill for them.
Right.
And so, and that's where I was getting with this, because like that's one way I can help. That's how I know I can help. And in some cases, like with Sebastian, I am able to go out here and get on my boat and stuff like that.
Because you're local.
Right. And Missouri, like Missouri's a little bit different, and the only reason why I want to help with that is because dude, that whole, I don't know if you know much about Emily Stripe, but dude, holy shit, that dude did it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. He did it. And I'll happily say that to that dude's face. I don't care because he literally murdered family dogs in front of the kids.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
Good
dude,
grief.
Jess was telling me about all this. I'm like, I'm just mind blown right now. And Emily Stripe deserves justice, man. And I'm hoping that, you know, I pray that Sebastian comes home. Like that's the biggest thing is like I
Hmm.
hope he's okay and he comes home. And I hope this is at the end of the day, you know what I do hope, and I know this sounds bad to say, what I hope for and what I think is two different things. I hope that they did take him off to Alaska or some stupid shit, you know?
Yep.
Because at the end of the day,
Mhm.
they'll get charges pressed against them and they'll be dealt with, but he's safe.
But he's alive and safe.
Yeah,
That's what
right.
matters.
And
And
so,
that's what I tell everybody. It's like we can't focus so much on the parents and justice right now. We need to focus on getting him home. We can worry about the rest of that shit later.
oh,
Right.
I got in an argument. I didn't get in an argument. I got in a disagreement on my live because everybody's like, well, do you think he's in the water? Like, why are you searching water? It's like, no, I said, first and foremost, that's not where I want to find. That's not what I want. I'm not going out there in hopes to find him. Like,
You're going out there to rule it out.
rule it out. Thank you. Like,
Yeah.
how easy is that to understand? It's like,
Right.
just to rule it out so we can mark that off the list.
Right. And
Guess
go
what?
somewhere else.
Yep. And I was saying, guess what? It puts us one step closer in the direction of possibly where he may be. So,
Right.
Right.
And
um,
about your past, I've been saying this all night too. It doesn't matter what anybody has done in the past. What matters is what we do today, our character
Right.
today,
hey,
your
Casey,
heart today.
You know, hey,
If you're
I
a
got-
piece of crap person today, that's what matters. If you're trying to hinder this case,
Yep.
then that's what matters. You know, I'm sick of that.
Oh no, absolutely. Good night, Matt. That's missing people. Or he's
I
such a-
followed him.
Yeah, he's amazing, dude. I tried to be friends with Dan. That didn't happen.
Dan's
strange.
he's a hard nut to crack.
He is, man. He's like he is. That's what I was telling Matt. I was like, he's very like he wants the information. He has to find it himself.
Yes.
Like you can't help him. He's like,
Nope.
no, I'm gonna go get it. So I'm like,
Yep.
okay. I was like, you know what though? There's an understanding to that to a degree, and I'm like, well, we're all trying to help each other out. But then again, in my head, I'm like, well, I kind of get that. So at least you know where it's coming from.
Right.
So,
Well, he is part of a search and rescue organization. And so they have direct contact with law enforcement and everything else. So I think he just feels like it's easier for him to get the facts that way rather than something like happened with, this case. All of us, are trying to help. And then you've got the bad apples that are on over there doing their thing.
No, it makes sense when you say it that way. I think he's one of those people. He's like I said, he's just hard to crack, man. I was like, you know what? I'll let you be you, and I'll just come steal your stuff.
And you know
Yeah.
what? He doesn't care about that either. And if you message him and say, "Hey, can I get a clean flyer?" He'll be like, "Yeah, here," and he'll send it to you.
Yeah, Matt's like Matt's one of he's like the same way, man. And Matt's just more like us, but like he'll talk bubbly, and so Matt's funny as shit, man. And I've grown just accustomed to him. And like Dan, I don't have like a vendetta with him or nothing. It's just
No, he's just a hard nut to crack.
he is very hard to crack. Yeah.
Yes.
But
And
I will say this: when I jump in his live, dude, he'll tell me hi and stuff like that, and it's like that's appreciative. So, I just really hate people like him and even Chris Mann, Melissa, and Gail, and all these people that share all this stuff. Like they don't get views, man, and it sucks. I'm like they should really be getting views, but at the end of the day,
they should.
I'll say this before I go to sleep here in a second, but if y'all would, and I don't know if KG, I don't know if Seth actually knows this or Tony, but Danielle, Abigail Velez's adopted mama. I feel so bad for her right now because she's going through a lot they're running that whole family through the ringer. I mean, it wasn't nothing like people think it is. Unfortunately, she was talking, her biological mother was a very bad person. Danielle and her husband had adopted Abigail and her brother when they were young. Well, come to find out, biological mom had reached out and contacted the 16-year-old Abigail, started feeding her a bunch of stuff and pretty much grooming her in a sense. So when they were down in Florida, they want something with one of the children. They ended up at the hospital. Well, they found out that Abigail was texting her biological mom at the point. Well, then they got into it with each other. Abigail took off running. So he immediately calls law enforcement, and he says, "Hey, because he's law enforcement himself, and he does the mental. He's the one. He's got a mental background, mental health background. So he's the one that deals with the trauma from the officers and stuff. And he handled it. I feel like in a very professional way instead of chasing after because they got their other little kids with them and stuff. They called the law immediately, and next thing you know, she I guess had met up with her mom and some other shit. But what I'm getting at is there's a company called C2R. And they're a mission company that helps with search and rescue. And so if y'all want to look that up, it's just called the C2R mission, and maybe drop it by them and let them know they have units everywhere. They're a military organization, all veterans. They have drones, thermals, they have underwater, they have everything that you can possibly think of. Danielle told me within minutes of the cops getting there, one of the officers immediately said, "Hey, we know an organization that's down here that could possibly help." They contacted them, and they were there within like the next 30 to 40 minutes.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, and I was like, "Holy!"
And it's
shit.
called C2R.
Yeah, yeah. And I could.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got there's things I'm gonna post in my story here in a minute, right before I go to sleep. And if you want to, you can just come steal it off my shit and just
Okay.
Okay.
put that info on, man. Because I was like, dude, I've got a Danielle. I hope you don't mind. I talked to her for an hour and a half. I was like, I've got to brag about that because that's amazing to me.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. I never even knew that.
Yeah, I was like, and apparently they're all over, and they also are involved with churches and helping churches develop in communities, search organizations within churches. So, like, say, like they would come and teach everybody at First Baptist in Hendersonville. Well, now that First Baptist they'd have a team that's built with people that are members there that would be certified, and they also teach you like basics so that you know how to teach others. And it's just dude, all around they're amazing. I was just reading into them and
Wow.
everything. The woman that helps run the organization, super phenomenal woman, and I was like, I'm gonna reach out to him tomorrow because I was talking to Danielle. They're always looking for other people too. Like, say if you have a search and rescue crew, they're willing. They want to work together, and I thought that was pretty cool too. Instead of just being we're all inclusive, they're like, no, man, if you're good and you're certain, and or if you want to be a part of something, let us know and we'll help. And so I thought that was cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. But I'll shut up. I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you as always, KJ, for letting me up here, and thank you,
You're
Kayla,
welcome.
for running out.
Anytime.
See y'all.
You're welcome. Hey, Steven,
Yeah.
don't forget that Tony didn't get fired.
Oh, no, I know. What's funny as shit is, dude, people had asked me, and I'm like, I don't know. I said, I guess he did. I was like, hell, I don't know. I was like, I'll say this. Now, I did say this just to be honest with y'all. Like, I had said, I'm a little confused on how that. You cleared this up actually. So, and I'll make sure I say this is. I didn't. I was like, why would he just take Caleb's name? I didn't even know you could change the name. Is what I said. I didn't even know you could change the damn name to a page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like every 30 days, and I was like, that's the only.
I think
weird
every
part.
7 days, I think. But you
Oh,
can
wow.
only change it so many times.
Got you.
But yeah, you can change it like I think every 7 days.
And then, well, you explained how it worked, and I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense, man. And
Right.
it was, and I think that I want to make sure it clear up because I'm not trying to bash Tony at the same time. Not, it was just more of a I don't understand how it happened type shit. Tony
Right.
to me was like, I wish you would word that shit different.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard to work on my wording, and sometimes it kicks my ass. But I don't know. I just hope Tony. I feel like Tony knows me well enough now and know like the other day with the thing because I even said on the line I was like, hell, you need to start OnlyFans, I guess. Because I know what Tony would have said, but in my head I just heard what he said. Because dude, I'm telling y'all, you have no idea. I can send y'all text messages between me and him, dude. and even if you could hear his calls, like he's just always giving me hell, man.
Uh-huh.
He does it in a good way, man. So I don't really have.
He's a trip.
He
Yeah,
is.
dude, I don't have nothing. It's dude, if you've ever been around Seth for any period of time, that dude's funny as shit.
I've heard.
Dude, he had me laughing the other day. Like I literally had spit down tea out of my nose, and I'm like, "What the hell, man?" But they're all good people. I think that's the shit part. Just people just want to attack. They don't care about people. They don't have character themselves, so they
Right.
have to destroy others.
Well, it's
So.
just like I always say,
Exactly.
even though I have my opinions on this case and they may be different from everybody else's, I still welcome the Proudfoots to my panel. I will shut off the chat. I will protect them to get their side out.
Yeah, and I think that's respectful as shit. I don't understand. I wish the only thing I wish that they would do is that instead of being selective, like I get going to the media sources, I could understand that, but they only like dialogue with one person. It's like, well, it's I'm only getting one side, one person's view of what they thought about it, and
Right.
multiple takes on it would be good to know. Instead,
Right.
so here we are all theorizing about shit,
Right, and it's causing drama. It's chaotic.
Yeah.
It doesn't help their case either when the platforms that they do go to are the ones that just sit around and cause drama all the time.
Yep, 100. No, I will 100% agree with that. I will 100% agree with that. I don't know, man. I will promise you this: that I pray that they are innocent. Honestly, what bothers me the most, and I'll say this in like a closing, is that when Sebastian comes back, you can't delete all this.
Right.
And at some point, he will be an adult.
That's right.
And he's a very intelligent young man. Most autistic kids are. So he obviously is going to know how to, like, he knows that. And he's not like nonverbal. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he's a very bright child. He's not.
He's
what
far
people
more
are
intelligent
picturing.
than most people are giving him credit for.
100%. And so when he comes back and to have to see this, man, he can't go to a regular school. He's
right.
Like, this has forever changed his life, and people don't understand. The more you just keep going into this fucking bash and destroy every part of his family,
right?
Like it's already bad enough that two people have caused their own shit, right? But then you got his other side, who honestly I don't feel like he's done much to cause any harm for himself, except people destroying him and tearing him down. Everyone's like, well, he does. It's like, shut the fuck up, shut up. Like, then why are y'all fixated on this shit, man?
Right, and we should be fixated on finding Sebastian and bringing him home.
Just between,
and I'm going to support the person that is trying to find him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say this, like, well, it's not off the record. Tony kills me that he'll be talking about some random ass shit and off the records, like, Tony, that has nothing to do with anything, man. Like,
yeah.
Like, you don't have to say that right now. So, he's funny as shit, man. I'm telling you, I enjoy talking to him, honestly. But other than that, I don't know how you can recover as far as like Sebastian when he gets back and people not understanding, like, hey, all the damage that is being done out here, that I will admit I'm part of it at the very beginning where my heart still lays where it does since the very beginning. It's always going to be there. I have questions. They don't make sense.
Right.
And so,
but it doesn't mean we have to tear his mom, dad, and stepdad apart because he does love them.
Yep. And that's where I had to start thinking is like logical versus my heart. And I'm like, I don't realize what I'm doing to this child. It's not only affecting them, but it's affecting it will affect
him. It will.
Yep. Right. And so that's where the whole me back. I think a lot of people say, "Oh, why did you change your mind?" It's like, nah, it's not as much as changing my mind, but it's as much as I'm backing out of this because I'm looking at this from a different set of eyes.
Right. You're looking at it through a dad's eyes now.
Yeah.
How would you want this to go?
Yep.
You didn't change your perspective. You just changed the way you word things.
Yeah. I wish I could learn that all around because apparently I need to. But
we love you just the way you are, Stephen.
Right.
I love y'all too. But I'm gonna go to bed. Thank y'all as always for having me. Y'all have a good night.
You're welcome.
You too.
Anytime. You too.
And that's how you have a conversation.
Right. If everyone could be adult like that, things would be going so much better. We might could make some forward progress.
If things could go like that from the beginning, he would be home.
Right.
And above everything else, that is the goal. That is
Right.
all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
You feel it too, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like that was a little bit of light that we needed.
Yeah.
And the boys missed it.
I know.
So did Nikki.
Yeah. She's probably getting some rest though, and she needed
Thank
that.
thank God. I still think she needs to go to the hospital, but
I know, me too. I just hope they don't make her wait too long to get surgery done.
me too, because what she described is not okay.
No.
It does, Jana. And I know Steven thinks he doesn't have a way with words, but he really does.
Right. People listen to him.
And he's real. And he's
Right.
raw.
People listen to him and they respect him.
And he's
So I
not
mean,
trying.
he can
Okay.
say things wrong, but people still respect him because he'll say, I might not be saying this right or whatever.
And then
And that's what
if he
people like.
finds out he's incorrect, he changes it. He fixes it.
Right. Right. Well, that's
He's-
the whole reason why he came in here and got in the box, is because he come in right when I was explaining that about, no, Tony did not get fired from Randy. And he was like, I'm so glad you said that because I didn't know and I didn't know how to word it.
If we could all be like that, can you imagine how closer we would be to getting him home?
Right.
It's about the facts. It's
Mhm.
not about bashing.
Right.
We can do that when we get him home.
I just wish everyone would be like us. Whereas if someone comes to us and asks us, hey, I heard this, we don't run with it.
Nope.
We don't go, well, somebody said this, and we don't spread it. We research it and find the answer to it before we say yes or no.
And if we don't know, we just simply say, I really don't know,
Yeah.
but I'll look into it.
And I'm just so sick and tired of people running with these crazy rumors. I mean, just like there are so many people that are still bashing Tony about that live and saying that he did that. No, he did not. And what pisses me off more than anything is the people that were in that live knowing it didn't happen and saying that it did.
Right. And posting videos. And you heard Steven, he put it in a program that says it is layered.
Exactly.
And I used to be a graphic designer, so I know exactly what he's saying.
Right.
And it does tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the phones thing, law enforcement already has everything they need from them phones. And if they return the phones to the parents, that's clear evidence that they have everything they need from them phones. So it doesn't matter if a
Mhm.
phone is missing. People lose their phones all the time. That doesn't mean anything. I'm not fussing at you, Jana. I just want you to know that. Just fussing. You know I love you, girl.
Just the pure stupidity of it. People run with the craziest things. Like, do you not have any common sense whatsoever?
Well, it fits their narrative,
Yeah.
and that's all they care about.
Yep. They don't care about what's true. They don't care about what's honest. They don't
Nope.
care.
It's sensationalism for them. It's ratings and views and money.
Uh-huh.
You don't ever once hear Jen or I ask for a dime.
No.
I don't even think I've heard Steven ask for any money.
No.
How are you going to profit off of a little boy's disappearance?
Right.
What does that say about you? That was so refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm disappointed in Luna. That's 2 nights
I
in a row I've
know.
not got my zoomies.
I know.
I just get
Maybe
tired
she'll
of
get 'em
it.
tomorrow. I know. I do too. I just hope tomorrow's a quieter day.
It's gonna be. We're gonna look forward to it being in a positive way. We're gonna go back to normal. We're gonna have Sebastian's beautiful picture up there and talk about all the fun things about him, all the good things about him, and if they start their shit, they just start their shit, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Me too, Jana. It's
Yeah,
not nearly enough. It doesn't even, make a dent in the pain he's feeling, but it shows him that we love him,
right.
that we're here for him.
That he does have an army behind him as well. What one?
What? Yeah.
Do we have to be twins on everything?
I know. We'll just take turns and let each other speak because we're going to say the same things anyhow.
Right. I was listening to us when Steven was talking. We're both like, right. Wow. I'm like, would you stop?
Get out of my head.
No, no
Hey,
doubt.
now, just drama all day. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
and I
one
found
was
another
amazing.
one after that.
They just don't stop.
Well, they see it as I can get views on this and build my platform. And that's disgusting. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying don't cover Sebastian. Of course, cover Sebastian, get his story out there, but do just that and
Right.
nothing more.
And if you want to make views off of streaming other people, at least do it off of something that's not serious. That's right, Jana.
There's so many children. It's like I said, if you're sick of the Sebastian case, if you're sick of Tony, whatever have you, cover another child. Get the message out about another child. There's so many.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's forcing you to deal with the Sebastian Rogers case.
Right. And eventually they'll get tired and move on when they realize that we're just going to block everybody that comes in here that we don't know. They'll give up after a while because what's the point? What's the point in going to all the trouble of making a new account if we're just going to block it when you come in?
Right. During Steven, when he was up here, I blocked 5 or 6. I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
really?
I blocked a bunch.
It's just, it's nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow we're going to hear, oh, Steven went to their panel. Like he's just a regular dude trying to do God's work, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a celebrity. Seth is not a celebrity.
The only celebrity in my eyes is Sebastian.
Amen. Because when he comes home, I will give him whatever he wants. Seth, you just call me and tell me what Sebastian needs, and Auntie will get it.
That's right.
I don't I know why. I shouldn't say I don't know why, but I do know why Sebastian's case touched my heart so much, because I see my son,
Right.
and my son was his age. The difference is I don't believe Sebastian ran away.
Right.
And
For
I
me, it was this, just the thought of, because he's a child, but what got me the most is his mother did not care.
right. It blew my mind
Yeah.
because I know how I reacted.
Right.
And it being my only child.
Hmm.
I didn't know how I was going to take my next breath without him.
Right.
And I'm still that way, and he's 26. I don't want to be in a world where my son's not in it.
Right.
I
That's
know.
right, though.
We actually said two different things. I'm proud of us.
I know. There's a first for everything.
Right. Even my mom said last night, she's like, you went in the other room and I couldn't tell if that was you or Jen. I was like, wow. We get that from everybody but our own mothers.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
nothing, yeah, Val. That's what kind of we were just talking about. People are saying, "Oh, Steven's out there in the water looking, gonna." He's not looking for Sebastian in the water. He's ruling it out. He doesn't hope to find him there. He's ruling it out
Hmm.
so that we can move forward to other locations.
Hmm. That way we can definitively say he's not in Hendersonville.
Right. And I asked Steven, since he lives there, could he get very far with the terrain they have in that neighborhood barefoot? And he said no.
Especially on a cold night.
He said there were too many ditches, and it goes from regular pavement to some kind of other pavement, and he said no.
Right. Yeah, we're going to watch that, Jana. We were talking about that just a little while ago, actually.
Jen and I don't sleep, so yeah, we'll be watching.
I'm going to watch that once we get off of here.
That's what I'm doing too. Have your own ideas, Jen.
I know. I can't be original.
You must not be a creator.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
Of course you were.
Oh, gosh.
I feel like most of the land in Hendersonville itself, though, has been, well, except for that one part Steven was talking about tonight. Now, that was interesting.
Uh-huh.
Well, thank you, Jana.
Yeah, thank you.
I think Jen and I together could solve this case if we could get out there.
Yeah. And if we get all these other people out of our way that are just trying to cause problems.
And you have to realize, everybody's like, this person don't talk, that person don't. Well, I'm even going to defend Katie right now. Why the hell would she with all this drama?
Right. For me, it's just the fact that she didn't early on.
That's me. That's me right there. Why were you not out searching? Oh, because
Right.
law enforcement told me not to. Fuck them. That's your kid.
Right. Yeah. They
Law-
couldn't stop me.
No, law enforcement told me the same thing. You know what I did? I said, okay, and I got my car and I left and I went looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to tell me not to look for my child.
Yeah. And for me, if something like that happened here, my family that's in law enforcement would be like, you better leave her alone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even mess with her.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go. If they're doing a grid search, I'm not going to get in the middle of that. I'm going to search elsewhere.
Right.
You
I'm
know,
gonna
there's
go
plenty
to
of
the
places
smaller.
they can
Right.
search. They're not going to tell them not to search, but let the public go search.
That's exactly my point, Jana. Right there.
Yep.
He didn't go on vacation. He didn't, redesign a new room for the hopes of another child coming into the picture. Seth is stuck in Groundhog's Day. It's still February 26th to him. He's not the one saying, well, everybody's got to get on with their life.
Mm-hmm.
Seth's life has stopped. Yeah, he did say that, Jana. And that was one of the hardest interviews I've ever watched, I will admit.
Yeah, it was.
I was working when I was watching that one. I kept tearing up. My coworker's like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "No." You can feel his pain. I don't feel anything from her. I'm just tired.
If she were like totally closed off, then I could see that as a form of emotion.
Right.
But if she were at that point, you wouldn't see her out and about doing the things she's done.
Right.
You know, I could see someone just being, kind of like a zombie or something.
Right. Or shutting down to the point you're in the hospital.
Right. But you're not going to be just out at the Harley shop and no.
Going on vacations and whatnots.
Uh-huh. You would be in the state of, someone's having to force you to eat. You won't get out of the bed.
Right.
You won't talk to anyone, And I know everyone handles things differently and you don't know until you're in that situation. But I know for a fact, 1000%, that if my child were missing, I'm going to care. I'm not going to not look. I'm not going to just not have emotion at all.
And then we can just, if you don't want to go off feeling, we'll go off facts. Why did the dog not pick up a scent outside that house? Other than the retention pond.
I feel like that she might have had him go to that retention pond the day before or something.
Right.
Or that they put something in it that had his scent on it. I feel like that there's something like that involved with why his scent was there.
I do too. 100%.
As a diversion to make it look like he ran off on his own.
Because I think we're all in agreement that he didn't.
No, you could not convince me that he ran off on his own.
Mm-mm. And the reason I asked Stephen what I did is because, he said no, he wouldn't have gotten far. That's my point. So where is he?
Exactly. And then, KP said in that interview, I don't know how he slipped out of the 5-mile radius so fast. How would you know that unless you already knew where he was?
Right. I didn't catch that one. That's a good catch.
Yep. Because if you thought for 1 second that your child ran off on their own, I would be out there demanding search again, whatever. I
Yep.
would not just accept it.
No, hell
I would
no.
be like, there's no way in hell he could have got that far on foot by himself.
Yeah, I'd be arguing all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be fighting. Be like, I don't care what you
Me
think you're
too.
going to do, but you're going to get back out there and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to treat this as if it's your child.
Yeah. Yeah, and without the shoes is what makes this so much more like, no way. There's no way he did this on his own and got outside of that radius that fast.
With no shoes.
Yeah.
Or at all, period. But especially
Right.
with no shoes.
Mm-hmm. The only way he could have possibly done that is someone else involved.
Mm-hmm. And that's just the facts of it.
Yep, that's right, Dawn. That this is going to be something they're going to be studying about for ages.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Mm-hmm. If it were just a runaway, that's not something people would be talking about for ages.
And I saw
He
the
said that
post.
because
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, he said that because he knew that whatever they did was huge.
Mm-hmm. And damn near the perfect crime.
Mm-hmm.
And before he deleted that Facebook post about the concrete, I saw it.
Yeah, I did too. But I feel like that was a distraction too.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you notice everything that he does like that, he's cocky about it because in his mind it's a joke. In his mind he's thinking these idiots are going to believe me. These idiots are going to go wild over me mentioning concrete. So now they're going to be looking at anything with concrete.
Oh, and it keeps the right hand busy while the left hand's looking.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Gotcha. Because I thought that was a creepy post. I've never forgotten that.
I mean, to me, okay, it wouldn't make sense with as well. How, they planned this out so well. So then why would he give something like that away so easily?
That's a good point. I don't think he's in Hendersonville.
Mm-mm.
I mean, and I don't think he got out at Hendersonville by himself walking with no shoes. In the wintertime. Sorry.
No.
You're never going to make me believe that. He'd have been found by now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if he ran away between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. Cops got there at 6:30. He damn sure didn't get that far with no shoes on, no coat, no nothing. In the wintertime, that he wouldn't have been found already.
Yep. And I feel like that's why that on that post that KP did in the neighborhood group, I feel like that's why she specifically said between midnight and 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Because she knew that they were not going to see anyone leaving that home between those hours.
Right.
She knew that The only thing would be her car leaving the garage after 6 o'clock when she supposedly drove by the school.
And why would she go to the school?
Exactly. Knowing the bus had not run yet, knowing he didn't walk to school ever, he rode the bus. So why would your first instinct be to get up and go to the school when it's not even time for school yet? I would be out running around through my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. I would have gotten on one of my two-wheeled toys and gone through the woods.
Mm-hmm. She certainly didn't get out and walk around the school grounds. She didn't have time to do all that.
Mm-mm. No, they said she was only gone about, what, 10, 15 minutes?
If that, yeah. 3 minutes to drive there and 3 minutes back.
Yeah.
So that's just enough time to do
Yeah.
whatever she needed to do to hand him off.
And he trusted her.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that hurts. He trusted her. That's mom.
Right.
And Steven is right. When Sebastian comes home, he's going to see all this shit. That's going to tear him up.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Diane. Yeah, you're right, Jenna. I mean, the camera is her alibi because she knows that she did not leave that home until after then. So she wanted the neighbors to check up until 6 o'clock, not after,
Yep.
up until then. And they're not going to think anything of it if she's already running around frantically acting like he's missing. They're not going to stop to think anything about her car leaving the garage then when she told the neighbors she's driving by the school to look for him. Nobody's going to question that. They're just going to think she's out riding around looking for him. That's what any parent would do.
Right.
But if you're going to ride around and look for him, you're going to look around the most obvious spots. You're going to look around the neighborhood, and she didn't do that.
No.
She drove straight out of the neighborhood.
To the school that he would not have walked to.
Right.
Barefoot.
I just feel like that the shoe thing is the one detail they forgot to plan out.
Yep.
They planned everything else to a T, but they forgot to include the shoes. And so when they were asked what was he last wearing, it was an oh crap moment because we forgot that shoes aren't missing. So now we just have to go with the story that he was barefoot.
Yep.
Right. Or a jacket.
Just doesn't make sense.
No. And not to mention the fact that as cold as it was, if he were barefoot, his body temperature is going to drop so much quicker. And we all know when you're cold, you don't move as fast.
Right.
So even if he did take off by himself running, he might have taken off fast for a moment, but he's going to slow down quickly.
Exactly.
He's not going to make it completely out of that area and not be seen anywhere. The video that the lights were seen on was stuck at 3:11, so we don't know if that's the actual time or if it was legitimately stuck there, and who knows what time it was. That doesn't make sense to me. I've always wondered, why would that camera be stuck at that time?
Somebody said earlier in the chat that she, in her profession, had knowledge of how to do that, but
that was someone else's camera.
that's what I was, getting at. It's like, how would you manipulate somebody else's camera is the issue.
Right. The only way she could have done that would be with some kind of jammer, and those are not easy to come by. And if that were the case, then all the cameras in the area would have messed up.
Right.
I mean, yes, she does have a lot of knowledge in that field. Plus, she did things like that when she was in the Navy. But again, I don't think that she did anything like that just simply because the other neighbors did have working cameras.
It just floors me that nobody caught anything on those working cameras.
Yeah, at least that's what they're telling us.
Right.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me that they didn't have working security with her, her working in that field. And they had cameras up. There were cameras on that home, but they weren't working then.
Right.
I think that was all part of the plan. Maybe they didn't pay for their Wi-Fi that month, or maybe they disconnected it not long before that. I don't know. But I just cannot see them having a home that expensive with perfectly good cameras already there and it not work.
It's not adding up. That's for sure.
Mm-mm. Nope. Right. Exactly, Jana.
Yeah.
And it's probably worth even more than that now. It was almost that amount back when they purchased it.
Right. I wonder if it's depreciated though because of the case.
Well, it probably has now, but I meant right before this happened.
Oh.
But I imagine it has big time now. But my point in saying that is because it's around a $700,000 home. Why would you not have working cameras?
Right.
Nothing about this makes any sense.
It doesn't. I just know the only thing I know is he didn't run away.
Right.
And the one thing I do know for a fact is Seth has zero involvement in it.
Right.
Like, he has an alibi of where he was.
Mm-hmm. And Seth knows he didn't run away too. He knows that if he had run away, he would have run to his dad's.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that would be a plan. Mm-hmm. Just tell him, sit down, let us handle it. We got
Seriously.
this.
Did you get this evidence? And officer's like, no. Well, then you suck because we got it.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Dawn. And that's why we've been so fed up. Well, I think I'm about ready to call
Call
it
it a
quits
night.
for the
Yeah.
night. Yeah. It's been a long day.
It really
I'm gonna
has.
get some rest.
I'm
And I
gonna
still want to
go.
watch that other video.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. There's 2 or 3 of them from her, so I'm gonna go start with the one and work my way up.
Hmm.
But we'll do it again tomorrow.
Yep. We sure will. Well, good night, everyone. Hope everyone has a great night. That's right, Dawn. Well, all right, girl. I will talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, you will. And thank again everybody for staying here with us and hanging out and putting up with our shit.
Yes, thank you, guys.
And we love you, and I love you, Jen, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Good night. Love you, girl.
Good night.